I pre-order most of my new comics with M&M Comics. I put that pre-order in 2 to 3 months in advance, get some great discounts, but I get that order in once a month. Well, here's the order for July. Let's open up this box and find out what books I ordered. Welcome back, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today I've got an unboxing of the books that I pre-ordered for the month of July. Now, I know this seems a little late coming out, but to be quite honest, this box has sat here for a little bit, and I've had so many other videos that I had to put in front of this video that I've delayed opening this box to this point. We had a lot of videos coming out of Heroes Con where I literally over the course of 3 to 3.5 weeks had videos coming out. I had to push back all of my CGC unboxings, and of course this video actually got pushed back too. So when this box right here came in, I've let it sit for a little bit. I wasn't in any hurry to open it up. I didn't need it for signings or anything like that, so it wasn't a big deal. But we're finally getting around to opening this up. So let's do this. I'm going to open this up off screen, off camera. That way I don't have to worry about making lots of noise. You guys don't have to sit through all that boring parts. You don't need to see that. You do your own unboxings. No sense in watching mine. So I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to bag and board every one of these comics, so when I put them up here for the show and tell, they'll be protected. So give me a few moments. I'll be back, and we'll do the show and tell.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright guys, I had a chance to bag and board all the comics. Let's get right into this. So last month, if you watched that video that came in, that was all the books that I had pre-ordered for the month of June. It was really late coming in, and that box had 121 comics in it. It was a massive box. It was so heavy. And part of that was because it had a complete order of all the free comic books that had come out in May. And I had pre-ordered that. I did pay for it. And I did that so I can make sure I got every copy of every free comic book that came out. Well, even if I hadn't ordered that back then at that complete order, M&M was always very good about putting in some of the free comic books no matter what for Free Comic Book Day. And so let's start off with that right there. They did throw a few in this order. We've got the Fantastic Four Free Comic Book Day, and that's pretty cool because I had just seen Fantastic Four a week ago at this point. So you can see how late this order came in and how late this video is actually getting out at this point. But I've got that as another free copy. I've already had this, course, in the last order, but they threw this in this order, as well as a copy of Planet Death #0. This wasn't technically a Free Comic Book Day comic, but it was one that definitely the comic book shops were giving out for free. This is one that I'd actually had already when Robert Venditti came to Third Eye Comics just a few weeks ago. I ended up getting him to sign my copy that I already had on this. So I'll have to save this again if I ever see Robert Venditti again. I also got Free Comic Book Day Star Wars right there, and Free Comic Book Day The Amazing Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. So got some additional copies of some of those free comic book days. They're going to be bagged and boarded and put into the collection. Sometimes you get some first appearances in these books, and that's kind of why I hold on to these Free Comic Book Day comics. We'll see if anything comes of these. At the moment, these are just going to the PC. Alright, let's go over to the previews books that I ended up getting from M&M Comics. They do give you a free copy of DC Connect, and you can see they're previewing the Kyle Higgins Elseworld series for Batman right there. We've got the Marvel free previews. This is for August. I've actually already put it in the order. This box has been, this is the one thing, I usually use these to help me pick out the new comics, but this opening was so late. I've already put in my pre-order in August for the books that are going to be previewed in this and the DC Connect. So I still collect these. I still bag and board these and hold on to these previews books. You never know when one of these might actually show a true first appearance of a character, like, let's say, Ultimate Spider-Man. Well, I save this just like all of us collectors do. We kind of save everything. And then they gave me a couple of Marvel must-haves where they've been reprinting 3 issues from various comics. This is reprinting Spider-Man #39. That's the cover there from that book. John Romita artwork. Avengers number 7 and Moon Knight number 7. These are all modern comics, not the original Avengers number 7 or Moon Knight number 1 from the early 1980s. And they also gave me the one, I think that one was from July. This one's from June. This has got Fantastic Four 575, Wolverine Revenge number 1, and Storm number 1 in that. I actually picked this up, I think, at one of my other LCSs when I went up there. So I've already got a copy of that one right there. So those are some of the free things that I got in this order. Not as many comics as last month, but still a lot of comics here. Let's see, where should we go? Let's do DC. DC doesn't have quite as many books as Marvel, but it has just about as many as the Independents, but we'll start with that. I broke it down. We've got Absolute Batman number 8, first appearance of the new Mr. Freeze. Absolute Superman number 7. I think that might be the first appearance of the Absolute Brainiac. Absolute Wonder Woman number 8. I've actually been enjoying all 3 of the main titles so far on this. And I did pick up Wonder Woman number 8 here. This is Absolute Wonder Woman, and it's because of this Sanford Green cover. I'd already picked this up on New Comic Book Day and took it to Heroes Con this year, where I had Sanford Green sign a couple copies of this, actually. And that's something I've got in my PC and is available to anybody if they're interested in it as well. At this point, I'm still reading Green Lantern, Absolute Green Lantern number 2. And Absolute Flash number 3. I've since dropped both of these titles. I didn't catch on to it too quick, although I had pre-ordered these. I've already stopped this. So I don't think you're going to see any more of these unless it's some cover by a special artist or something like that. And then back over to the regular DC universe. I am starting to get this every month now. Superman, the regular Superman title, this is issue number 26, and that's because you've got Joshua Williamson writing that. Again, this is a case where a writer comes to Third Eye Comics for a signing, and I give their work a second chance, and this was a pretty good jumping on point. He had been writing this title, but issue 25 actually, they had, and with the Superman Summer Special, those were good jumping on points to get back onto the Superman story. So I am going to continue with the Superman title for the time being. And we've got Superman Unlimited right here, number 1. I did that one only because we've got this pretty cool Jim Lee cover. And this may be the last one I've been doing with the Justice League Unlimited. Mark Waid's been writing these. This is issue number 7. I think I've dropped it after this at this point with some of my other pre-orders. And then we had Supergirl number 1. Just a regular cover. I didn't pick this up on New Comic Book Day because I knew I had it, but I did manage to pick up that Lozano cover, I believe, of Supergirl that just really exploded. You can since pick up second printings of that one as well. It's a really great cover. I've pulled it aside to maybe there'll be a future signing someday. I would love to get that signed. Let's put those down. That was it for Superman. And then for Batman, let's see what I've got here. Yeah, I'm missing books here, but I'm kind of out of order. Let's just do Batman here. Batman and Robin, number 21. And I tell you, this is probably one of the best Batman titles out there because you got Philip Kennedy Johnson writing this. Oh, there it is. Regular book. Batman 160. This is the Hush 2 storyline. Jim Lee doing the art. Jeff Loeb writing. I'm kind of waiting to the very end to read this all together. I'll be quite honest, Jim Lee has lost a little bit of a step. That art, while the pinups are still good, the art, the sequential art inside, there's something really off. It's Jim Lee showing his age. Not digging this. I went through this book. I didn't really read it, but I went through the art. And honestly, you should be able to open up a book without reading it and be able to follow a storyline pretty good, because that is what it is, sequential art. And it's a lot of pretty pictures, and it just seems like lots of individual frames of the characters, and I don't see a real sense of flow for the story. And the art looks a little... it's definitely not a Jim Lee quality that we're used to, at least from the original Hush storyline. All right, guys, so we just lost my monitor, so hopefully we're going to be able to film the rest of the show. I'm going to take a chance that I am actually still filming, so let's go through the rest of this real quick. We've got Batman and Robin, Year 1, number 7. I have been enjoying the Chris Samnee, is that how you say his name? Samnee artwork. His artwork's been really good, so I've been enjoying that just because of that. And a underdog kind of comic book, no real fanfare, is Detective Comics. This is issue 1097. I have been enjoying this. It's just kind of going unnoticed, and I've kind of picked up on it lately. I did pick up the most recent issue of Green Lantern number 23, simply because you've got a Mark Spears cover right here, and this is one of the better DC covers that he did. I didn't like any of his work that he did on the Absolute titles, and I didn't pick up any of those, but I really did like this one. And Jeremy Adams been killing it on Aquaman, and I've been enjoying this title as well. That is a new ongoing, and it's been a while since I've had this many ongoing DC titles, to be quite honest. This is one that I basically like only out of nostalgia. I'm not enjoying this current run at all. Maybe that's because Gail Simone is not writing this, but it does have characters I really like that came from the original Secret Six storyline, the Villains United storyline. It's just not the same, but I do it out of nostalgia more than anything. And then lastly, New Gods number 6 right here. And I have been enjoying this. This is another one, sort of like Detective Comics, kind of going unnoticed, but the artwork's really good and the storyline's really good too. So that is it for DC. Let's do Marvel. Marvel's a big batch of books right here. Regular issues of Spider-Man, issues number 3 and 4. I mean, I think we're already issued out to number 6, maybe 5 or 6 right now. So you can see how long it's been since this box has been sitting here and how late it does when it comes in. Yes, it's a pre-order. It comes in every month, but you're putting that pre-order in 2 to 3 months in advance. Luckily, most part, I don't need these books for signings, and if I do, I usually will just pick it up at my LCS. So let's move over to some X-Men titles, or X-Men character titles. We got Spider-Man and Wolverine number 1. Only reason I got this is you got this Kari Andrews cover right there, and I'm stockpiling Kari Andrews for Baltimore Comic Con later this year in October. He's going to be there, so I've got a lot of Kari Andrews books to get signed, including this. And then we've got Rogue Savage Land number 5, the regular cover. And then speaking of Rogue, we've got the alternate variant cover from J. Scott Campbell right there. Definitely a cool cover. And then J. Scott Campbell again on the regular issue of Magic right there. I don't like every one of these Magic covers that he's doing, but I do really like this one. The design is really good on there. Cable number 5, I think that's the last of that storyline. I've been enjoying this. And then Weapon X has been really, really good too. You've got one of those characters I really like from the late 70s. You've got this is Weapon X-Men number 4. You've got Red Ronin right there. And then Claremont's been writing Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. I think this is a throwback series to his original miniseries. This art in here is not Alan Davis, but it does have a little bit of that Alan Davis feel. A little bit of that. Kind of waiting to this storyline actually get all the comics together. I'm going to read that as one story. So I haven't actually read it. I've thumbed through it because of the artwork. This I didn't think I had ordered, but Giant Size X-Men number 1. This is the new 50th anniversary. This is part of that. I've talked about this book being, I didn't pick this up on New Comic Book Day. I did pick up the Art Adams variant cover for this, and I actually got those signed at Heroes Con. But this whole thing, what they're doing with a lot of the big storylines from X-Men, and they're trying to put in Kamala Khan right here, Miss Marvel, is bullshit. It's not that I don't like the character, I just don't like a character like that being pushed on me and being told, you need to like this character. Well, like I said, it's bullshit. I didn't think I ordered this, but I think I did only because mostly you've got this Adam Kubert. Is it Adam? Yeah, it's Adam Kubert cover right there. On the other ones, I don't think I've pre-ordered, like they did a Dark Phoenix storyline that got her on there. Kamala Khan, they've there's a whole time travel thing. I don't care about any of that. I don't like the fact that they're trying to push that character even more. Just, it drives me nuts. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for actually ordering that. We've got Godzilla versus X-Men right there. And I've been picking up most of these Godzilla titles. Some of them have been better than others. The one with Thor, it was really good. And then over in the Ultimate Universe, I've dropped just about everything except for Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Wolverine. And my understanding is the whole universe is coming to an end. I don't know if they're going to drag it out, but apparently Jonathan Hickman has left the room. And I guess that means I don't think he's going to be finishing up Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know. But he's going to leave it to somebody else. I think Dennis Ruiz to wrap up the whole Ultimate Universe storylines. It's crazy. Why does Jonathan Hickman keep doing this? He did that with the X-Men. He left that. And we saw what happened with X-Men, how it all fell apart. It was a woke piece of shit. And when they came back from the ashes, it hasn't been any better. So Jonathan Hickman didn't do anybody any service by building up such a big world for X-Men. It was a great concept. May not be the best concept. People may not have liked it initially, but it was something big, and you could build something on it. He was building something and then just left it. Well, he's doing it with Ultimate Universe as well. All right, so let's go over to the One World Under Doom number 4. Haven't cared for this storyline at all, but the Ben Harvey covers have been really good. And I have been enjoying some of these other books that are part of the One World Under Doom. We've got Thunderbolts Doomstrike number 5. Oops, sorry, I'm out of order. And number 4 right there. We've got Doctor Strange of Asgard number 3. That's part of that crossover. We have Doom Academy, and you've got Phil Lobos covers on this, which are not some of his better covers. I mean, they're really good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't enjoy these covers quite as much. Doom Division number 3, and Superior Avengers number 2. Again, we're still a couple issues behind, so you've already seen issues after this already out on the newsstand. Well, like I said, we get this order in once a month, and we're definitely late opening it and late getting it. And then on the regular titles, Avengers number 26 is still part of the crossover with One World Under Doom, as is Fantastic Four number 32. We haven't quite got to the new relaunch of Fantastic Four at this point. We're still on the regular series, the previous run. The previous Rhine North run to be followed by another Rhine North run, which is pretty subpar. Of course, he's writing One World Under Doom, which is very subpar as well. Dudes, Marvel, seriously, pay Philip Kennedy Johnson enough money to come over, make him one of your top writers, give him a bigger title. He's doing the Incredible Hulk for you right now. It's been really good. Give him something, challenge him to be the next Jonathan Hickman, and let him go and build something. I think that would be a good plan. Anyway, enough of my rant. Fantastic Four, Fanfare number 1. And guys, at the filming of this, I just saw Fantastic Four First Steps a week ago. I really liked it. I didn't have as much problems with a lot of other people. I didn't like the fact that they changed the Silver Surfer out for Shia LaBeouf, but to be honest, I was thinking about it, and that story, the way it was done, if that had been Nolan Rad, we would have been focused on that character. And having it be the female Silver Surfer, which has such a small footprint in Marvel Comics, well, what I'll say is we didn't focus on that character. We focused on the Fantastic Four. And that I kind of liked. Maybe I'm justifying what they did in the story, but we didn't focus on the Silver Surfer. And that I actually liked in the story. Anyway, Daredevil, Cold Day from Hell, Charles Soule, Steve McNiven. This has been really good. This is issue number 2 right here. It's Jeff Week here, number 1. Why do I get this stuff? I don't know. This is a FOMO thing. Don't miss out, guys. Don't miss out. West Coast Avengers number 7. I'm not enjoying this, but the Ben Harvey covers again. Another Ben Harvey cover. I enjoy that a lot. We've got the all-new, all-deadly Gwenpool number 1. And I'd already picked up the Todd Knock cover of this, and I took that to Heroes Con and got him to sign that. Kind of wish I had just bought that. I don't really need the regular cover, but sometimes when you do a pre-order, you don't have all of the art to know what you're going to pre-order. I don't just automatically order something just because of somebody did something. It may not be something I necessarily like. So I wait till I see the art, and that's why New Comic Book Day is still a big thing for me. We've got The Thing, number 1. I think I did pick this up on New Comic Book Day, but I forgot I had pre-ordered it. Beautiful Nick Bradshaw artwork on the cover there. We've got these weird crossovers. You got the Hulk and Doctor Strange. This one's not as strange as Doctor Strange, of course. You've got the former Defenders, so that's not a bad little matchup right there. Some of them have been really, really odd. But Terry Dodson artwork on the cover right there. We've got The Vision and Scarlet Witch number 1 right here, Steve Orlando. And as of the filming into this, I've actually got an episode coming out just in a couple days. Now, you've already seen that by the time this video comes out, where I get to meet Steve Orlando and a special guest on his signing at Third Eye Comics. That was he was there to promote a special book, but I did get a couple comics signed. I don't think this was one of them though. And then lastly, for Marvel, we've got Star Wars number 1 right there. So I picked that up simply because it's the number 1. I'm not a big Star Wars buyer, but I did get that. All right, let's see. What do we have left here? Okay, let's go over to Independence. And we got some good things. Some of the best books out there are the Independents. G.I. Joe number 7. Joshua Williamson, of course, coming to the store. Got me hooked on that. When they launched the new G.I. Joe run, he was there for the launch of that, and that's why I've been continuing with that. We got Vampirella number 677 with this beautiful Jenny Frison cover. And I'd already picked up extra copies of this and got them signed by Jenny Frison down at Heroes Con. So I've got some of those in the PC and available if anybody wants one. These Universal Monster stories they're putting out. This is The Mummy. These have all been really good and very entertaining. From James Tynion, we've got Exquisite Corpses number 1, and I've already picked this up, and I got the Jenny Frison's variants of this, and she already signed those. I'm saving those books for James Tynion when he comes back to Third Eye in September to get those signed, as well as this issue is regular cover as well. All right, another Terry Dodson. This is Matt Fraction and Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson doing Adventure Man Family Tree right there. That's a really nice artwork. I did that mostly for the artwork more than anything. Here's another Mark Spears. We've got Captain Planet and the Planeteers from Dynamite number 1. Really good book is The Goon. This is from Eric Powell. Them That Don't Stay Dead. It's issue number 4 of 4. And then the fun stuff right here. So you can see how late this is coming out. This is finally me getting the regular issue number 1 of Invincible Universe Battle Beast number 1 right there. And I pre-ordered that one, and I pre-ordered the David Finch cover. Now this, I actually got 2 of them signed at Heroes Con. Again, that's something that's going to be available in my eBay store, or if you just reach out to me. But I didn't realize I ordered 2 of the bagged books right here. And I picked up about 10 of those on New Comic Book Day. And I ended up getting some of the short prints in there. I've got the reprint of the first appearance of Battle Beast. I got the Invincible Spider-Man crossover. I got some of the more the ratios, not the big ratios, but get a couple of those David Finch covers. I think I got a blank cover. So I did pretty good, but I forgot that I actually ordered 2 more of these. So let's do it right now. Let's do an opening and see if I got anything special out of either of these. Now, when they came out on New Comic Book Day, I think I only opened up one, and it was, I think, another David Finch, so it wasn't anything too exciting. But let's open this up. What is this? Either I have scissors or this is really good bags that just won't cut that well. Here, I'm trying not to damage the comic book, but okay, I got it. That was not the best, but let's see. Hang on. Okay, let's see what I've got. Okay, this is definitely one of the ones. This was a... Which one is this? This is E.J. Sue cover. I think this is a pretty low... It wasn't a short print, but very, very common... what do you call it? Ratio. Nothing too special with that one. One more chance. Let's see what we get with this one right here. Give me one moment. Sorry about that. I may fast forward. Okay, that took way too much time. All right, second one. And we got two of the same. So nothing too special right there. But I've got extra copies of that ratio if anybody wants one. So that was it for the independents. Let's see what we got here. So let's get down. The last books I've got are facsimiles. And I got some pretty cool facsimiles. And the first thing right here is facsimile of one of those kind of collector's editions. They're not necessarily called Treasury at this point, but this is Superman and Shazam. Jerry Conway book. Rich Buckler did artwork on here. And this is pretty cool. I don't think I ever had this when I was a kid. But I've already looked through that. And the artwork's pretty cool in there. And then we've got a facsimile from something that came out 20 years ago. It's Mouse Guard, Belly of the Beast from David Peterson. Been 20 years since he had put this out. And this is a facsimile, I guess, of the original book. So I'm going to save this for David Peterson when he comes to Baltimore, as well as his new ongoing title. He's got the same Mouse Guard, but it is Dawn of the Black Axe. He's not doing the artwork in here, but he is doing the coloring and the lettering. And of course, he wrote this. He's got an artist. Let's see. What's the artist's name here? Hang on. Gabriel Rodriguez is doing the art in this series right here, and the absolutely fabulous right here. So I'm saving, this is issue number 2. I think it's issue, I'm not sure how long it goes. For some reason I was thinking it was going 3 issues, but this is issue number 2. Really enjoying this right there. That is, I mean, the artwork is really good. Great little storyline. The coloring is really fantastic as well. David Peterson is a really good artist, but his coloring in this was fantastic. And then the regular facsimiles, we get down to some good stuff right here. We've got the first reprinting, Brave and the Bold, number 57, the first appearance of Metamorpho. Something I've never read. I've never seen it in a reprint. So I thumbed through this. The artwork's pretty cool. And then we've got Our Army at War. These are DC's, of course. Issue number 151, excuse me. Is this the first appearance of Sergeant Rock or the Haunted Tank? I'm not really sure. I think it's Sergeant Rock, probably. Or Enemy Ace. Maybe it's Enemy Ace. I'm not really sure there. And then for Marvel, issue 135 of the Uncanny X-Men. The first, what I consider the first appearance of Dark Phoenix. Of course, her first cover. They say it's issue 134, but I go by the Hulk 180 and 181 rule, where 180 is considered the cameo, 181 is the big issue. Well, I go by that on this as well. There's a cameo, last panel of issue 134 of Dark Phoenix. But this one, she's on the cover, and of course, fully in the story in this one right here. Love the Dark Phoenix storyline like most of us did. This is my favorite issue out of the whole thing right there. And it has to do with this John Byrne cover that is a homage to an old Neil Adams X-Men with the Living Pharaoh on the cover. It's the same kind of design. And then lastly, guys, the end of the video here is we've got facsimile of Fantastic Four number 5, which is appropriate. We've got the first appearance of Doctor Doom right there. That's awesome. I actually already read this again, but I enjoyed reading the fan page letters, and looking at all the old ads in there. That's one thing I like about these facsimiles. And of course, with the movie coming out, or just come out, Coming of Galactus, issue number 48 right there. Nice facsimile of that. But guys, that is it. That is everything that I pre-ordered for the month of July. A lot of books here. Definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. What do you think about the books I've been picking up? I'd love to hear. And if you enjoyed today's video, definitely give me a like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. So definitely be here for the next episode. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Until then, remember, every comic has a story.